Hello, hello, hello. Blitzball Champ is back here with another edition of Pro Wrestling Talk here on the U to the Tube. I do apologize for being late on this one. It was a very busy weekend. I actually didn't get a chance to watch SmackDown, but only just checked out the highlights just to make sure I got caught up with everything. So today I'm mainly going to talk AEW and WWE. For Stardom, they haven't uploaded the Cinderella tournament and Future of Stardom tournament matches onto Stardom World, so I haven't gotten a chance to see them yet. But hopefully, once they do, I'll be able to see those and give my thoughts on those. But for now, it's just mainly going to be AEW and WWE. Also go over the card for Wrestlemania Backlash. So let's get started. Start out with some AEW. Now, of course, show started off. Jon Moxley, the IWGP United States Champion, defended the title on AEW Dynamite against New Japan Pro Wrestling's Yuji Nagata, who's pretty much a legend. I've gotten a chance to meet Yuji Nagata myself when him and Satoshi Kojima came to Concord, North Carolina as Team Japan in the Crockett Cup tag team tournament a couple of years ago. So got a chance to meet Yuji Nagata. But anyway, this is really cool that Moxley defended the title. And it was a good match. It was back and forth. Even had the sequence with Yuji Nagata trapping Moxley with the armbar and did the crazy eyes. So I thought that was pretty cool. But ultimately, in the end, Yuji Nagata got hit with the Death Rider, or Paradigm Shift, whatever you want to call it. And Moxley was able to get the pin, the 1, 2, 3. And afterwards, they both showed respect for each other. Moxley bowed to Nagata-san, and he bowed in return. So I thought that was a pretty cool sequence, them showing respect for each other, and typically not something you see Moxley do. But yeah, good sign of sportsmanship. And yeah, thought that was really cool. But yeah, I'm hoping to see more New Japan Pro Wrestling talent appear on AEW. We had Nagata-san, we had Kenta as well. So who knows? Maybe Finjuice will make an appearance. I mean, they're the Impact Wrestling Tag Champs. Maybe they'll make an appearance. But yeah, we'll see. But good opening match for Dynamite. Of course, you got to see an interview with the Inner Circle minus Jericho. They definitely want revenge. They want another shot at the Pinnacle. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, came out and gave one of his epic promos out in the ring. Of course, the main thing that he did was he challenged Anthony Ogogo to a match at Double or Nothing. And he's not going to show up as the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, but as the American Dream, Cody Rhodes. So channeling his father there. But yeah. So Anthony Ogogo versus the American Dream, Cody Rhodes, at Double or Nothing. So that's something that we can look forward to. And then we had the AEW World Tag Team title match, where the Young Bucks defended the titles against SCU of Kaz and Daniels. Now, of course, the main stipulation was if Kaz and Daniels, the next time they lost a match as a tag team, they would split for good. The only thing that I thought was a bummer with this match is that this really should have happened at Double or Nothing. This is a match that should have happened at Double or Nothing. To have it on just a regular episode of Dynamite with the stipulation, the implications, I just felt like it should have been at a pay-per-view. But this match was brutal. This match was brutal, back and forth. Of course, Don Callis and the Good Brothers were there, so the Young Bucks had backup. But it was back and forth, and there was even a sick spot where Daniels got busted open from taking a super kick with his head against the post outside of the ring. So of course he got busted open. So Kaz had to kind of manage by himself for a while. But he even channeled some AJ Styles and hit a Styles Clash, which I thought was pretty cool. And Daniels was able to eventually find his second win. He was able to hit a couple of Angels Wings and also hit a BME. Of course, he slipped on the first attempt of that, but then tried a second time and was able to hit a BME. But it just, no matter what they threw out, Young Bucks were able to kick out. Young Bucks threw a lot at Daniels and Kazarian. There was a time where they even got a buckle bomb. Even got Daniels with the freeze spray to his face, and even Daniels kicked out of that. But ultimately, there was even a moment where they channeled the Shawn Michaels Ric Flair's final match in WWE, where Matt Jackson looked at Daniels and said, "I'm sorry, I love you," super kicked him, even though Daniels still kicked out afterwards. But ultimately, it took one BTE trigger on Daniels, and Kaz couldn't make it back to the ring in time to break up the pin. 1, 2, 3. The Young Bucks retained the titles, and Daniels and Kaz must split. So, and of course, there was distractions and interference from the Good Brothers and Don Callis, as expected. But normally, I really felt like this should have been at Double or Nothing. But, everything was cool with Kaz and Daniels afterwards. They embraced one last time. And, yeah, I just hope that they're able to continue on as singles wrestlers, and we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Christian Cage declared for the Casino Battle Royale and also got challenged to a match by Matt Sydal. So I thought this was very interesting. And of course, these two have history. They've competed back at ECW. Remember when Matt Sydal was Evan Bourne? He's competed in ECW. Christian, he was a former ECW champion as well. So it'll be good to see these two square off. I'm actually looking forward to this. This should be a good match. Christian Cage, Matt Sydal. And then we had the AEW World Championship Eliminator match against ranked number 2's Pac against ranked number 1's Orange Cassidy. Now this was a pretty good match. The only thing was, so apparently there was a spot, I don't remember exactly which one it was, but Orange Cassidy supposedly got hurt, and then Kenny Omega, with a distraction from Don Callis, Kenny Omega came in and nailed Pac with the championship, and pretty much both competitors were down and could not get back up to beat the referee's 10 count. Therefore, the referee had to call for the bell as a count out. So seemingly, Kenny Omega is thinking that he doesn't have to defend the title at Double or Nothing, but Tony Schiavone ends up coming out and saying, hey, guess what? You do have to defend the title at Double or Nothing against both Pac and Orange Cassidy. So this is going to be a triple threat match for the AEW World Championship. And from what I researched, apparently that was the plan all along. Just the original plan was for it to be a time limit draw. And then that's how they set up this match. But because apparently Cassidy couldn't continue and, they had to improvise, so they had Kenny Omega come in, take out Pac with the championship. And yeah. So that was the only thing with that. But yeah. So we got a triple threat match for the AEW World Championship. Omega defends against Pac and Orange Cassidy. So that should be good. That should be good. All right. Moxley and Kingston ended up trashing the Elite's locker in the back, just flat out destroying everything, the furniture and pictures and everything. It was just, they just flat out raided that dressing room. We even had, another match had been made. Hangman Adam Page wants another shot at Brian Cage. Wants another shot. So we're going to have the rematch. Brian Cage and Adam Page at Double or Nothing. That just got booked. So definitely looking forward to that. Of course, Brian Cage did beat Hangman Adam Page. So we'll see how the second match, how the rematch will go. You had the coronation for the Pinnacle in the ring. Of course, you had MJF on the mic. You had Tully Blanchard on the mic. And everything was looking cool. And then the Inner Circle comes out in a champagne truck featuring Chris Jericho, by the way, arm brace and all. Champagne truck filled with a little bit of the bubbly. That's right. Now, of course, Inner Circle wants another rematch with the Pinnacle. They want another shot. MJF was like, no, it's never going to happen. No. So, what did they get in response? They got doused with a little bit of the bubbly, courtesy of Sammy Guevara controlling the champagne spray gun. And pretty much the whole Pinnacle got soaked. They were tripping and flying all over the place. And it pretty much sent MJF off to the point where, yes, he accepted one more match. The Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle in a Stadium Stampede match. That's right. The same Stadium Stampede match that took place at last year's Double or Nothing, where it was the Elite versus the Inner Circle. So this will be the Inner Circle's second Stadium Stampede match. And they're going against the Pinnacle. But there's a catch. So the stipulation is if the Inner Circle cannot win this match, the Inner Circle must disband forever. No more Inner Circle. So, of course, we all remember Pinnacle won the match at Blood and Guts. So, we'll see how this second match goes, but I'm looking forward to it. Stadium Stampede was very entertaining last year, so I'm really looking forward to this year's Stadium Stampede. Jim Ross had an interview with Britt Baker, the number one contender for Sheeta's women's title. This is cool and all. I just feel like they're putting so much spotlight on Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, but barely any spotlight on Sheeta. It's like, y'all, Sheeta's been your champion for over a year. Like, can she get some love? Can she get some promos? Can she get some build-up? I mean, I understand that most likely Britt Baker is going to dethrone her at Double or Nothing. Don't get me wrong, but dang, can Sheeta at least get some, like, video packages, some interviews, like, some segments? I think the last time she even did anything was when she defended the title against Ty Conti. So, I mean, can Sheeta get some love? She is the AEW Women's Champion for over a year. Like, come on now. They got to really balance the build-up to this match. So, I hope that they do that within these next 2 or so weeks. Thunder Rosa had a match against Jasmine Allure. Thunder Rosa beat her. And it was looking like Thunder Rosa's desire to become a double champion, and it starts with Serena Deeb, who still holds the NWA Women's World Championship. So hopefully we'll see that match happen at some point. Jade Cargill, don't really care. Like I said, I don't like her. Don't really care what happens with her. Main event. Miro got his title shot for the TNT Championship against the title holder Darby Allin. Now, this was another one I kind of had mixed feelings about because I felt like with the results, this really should have happened at Double or Nothing. And it looked like it was going to be a squash. It looked like Miro was going to squash Darby Allin, which really would have sucked. But Darby Allin was able to bounce back and at least get some offense. And of course, you know, Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page interfered to take out Sting. But ultimately, coffin drop reversed by Miro into a game over. Darby Allin passed out pretty much. The referee had to stop the match, awarded the victory to Miro. And Miro is now your new AEW TNT champion. So, I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy for Miro. You know, his first title in AEW. They seem to be doing a lot better with Miro. So, I like that. And it looks like the next rivalry is going to be him and Lance Archer. Because Lance Archer came out at the end. And it'll be interesting to see these two behemoths go at it. Miro and Lance Archer. I'm looking forward to that. That should be brutal. But definitely happy for Miro. And like I said, Darby Allin had a good run. Defended the title a bunch. He had a good run. I still felt like this should have happened on Double or Nothing. But it is what it is. But that's AEW. Pretty good show overall. Pretty good show. And then now, going into WWE. First, you had with Raw. Ugh. So, Asuka had to do double duty tonight. First, it was a six-woman tag match. Her and the sexy muscle friends, Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose, teamed up to take on Charlotte Flair and the tag champions, Nia and Shayna, which match didn't last long. Asuka got the victory after apparently Alexa Bliss and Lily did some sort of voodoo magic or whatnot. Made Shayna pretty much have a knee cramp. And she buckled. Asuka took advantage. And Shayna gets pinned again for like the 30th time. And it seems that maybe Alexa Bliss is also going to be targeting Charlotte Flair in the days to come, I guess. But yeah, that six-woman tag match didn't last long, and it was just really dumb ending to that, but whatever. Jeff Hardy jobbed out to the returning Jinder Mahal, which apparently they also had a match on Main Event that Jeff Hardy lost to Jinder Mahal, so yeah. Now Jeff Hardy is jobbing. Well, he's kind of been jobbing for a while, but yeah. Let's see. There was a 8-man tag RK Bro and the New Day went up against the Raw Tag Champions Omos and AJ Styles and Jackson Ryker and Elias. A match I really didn't care that much for, but RK Bro and New Day won the match, and then Randy Orton RKO's the New Day, both Kofi and Xavier Woods. Not really a fan of this RK Bro tag team, but whatever. I just think it's kind of dumb. Finally, we had the match between United States Champion Sheamus and Humberto Carrillo. Finally had a match. Instead of repeated run-ins, they finally had a match. But unfortunately, the match really ended on a bad note as Humberto Carrillo tried to do a sunset flip powerbomb with Sheamus on the apron, but he slipped and fell, and Sheamus fell on to Humberto Carrillo, and I think he pretty much landed on his thigh, leg area, and Humberto couldn't get back up, so the referee stopped the match, awarded the victory for Sheamus. This was a really, really bad spot. And it sucked that it ended that way, because you got to remember, Sheamus is no small guy. That's what? He's like, what, 6'4", maybe 270? That ain't no small guy. 260, 270. Humberto's maybe 203 or less. So just, one's a heavyweight, one's a cruiserweight. So I really didn't like the idea of that spot, and I hope Humberto Carrillo's okay. But that was just a really, really bad move. Really bad move. We had a singles match. Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander, once Raw Tag Team Champions and partners, now split, as well as the Hurt Business. Cedric had the most momentum throughout the match. Pardon me. But Shelton was able to bounce back and actually get the victory on Cedric using a move he used to use a long time ago as his finisher, that patent T-bone suplex. And was able to get the victory over Cedric Alexander. So, of course, it was obvious that Shelton was the face in this match. But I'm still just really disappointed that it came down to Hurt Business splitting, blowing up. Had something great there with that stable, and it's just all over, and it ends like this. It's just really dumb. Asuka gets pinned clean once again versus Rhea Ripley. Charlotte on commentary. So that's twice now that Asuka has lost clean against Rhea. And it's ridiculous. Even Batista had an issue with it. Pretty much Asuka jobbing to Rhea. And honestly, it's so stupid. It's really, really stupid. But not surprised. Damian Priest went up against John Morrison. And the winner of this match got to choose the stipulation for the WrestleMania Backlash match between Damian Priest and The Miz. Damian Priest got the victory, decided to choose a lumberjack match. Damian Priest has kind of had Miz's number lately, so I do kind of wonder if The Miz is gonna maybe get the last laugh at WrestleMania Backlash. I mean, after all, Damian and Bad Bunny beat Miz and Morrison at WrestleMania, so we'll have to see what happens. And then you had the main event, Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. It ended in disqualification. Braun Strowman got the last laugh by giving running power slams to both Drew and Bobby Lashley. Lashley was thinking, him and Braun were cool because, he took out Drew, but Braun was like, we ain't cool. I'm going to give you a running power slam. And that's exactly what happened. So pretty much all three competitors have had a chance to have the last laugh by the end of the show. So Braun was the last one. And that's what they leave off of going into WrestleMania Backlash. But Raw, go-home show, was still pretty meh. NXT. NXT was pretty good. You had Karrion Kross going up against Austin Theory. It was pretty decent, and it seemed like Austin Theory did get a bit of offense, but it didn't last long. Couple of Doomsday Saito suplexes, a running forearm to the back, and then with Gargano watching right in front of him, hooked up the cross jacket on Austin Theory and got the submission victory right dead in front of Johnny Gargano. So that happened, and then afterwards Finn Balor came into the ring, challenged Karrion Kross. He wants a rematch, and Karrion Kross was like, hey, I want this rematch just as bad as you do. and accepts. So we're going to get Cross Balor 2 for the NXT Championship. So definitely looking forward to that. That should be good. We had a non-title match, MSK versus Breezango, and it was cool to see these two face tag teams showcased. Both did well. Of course, MSK got the victory, and there's good sportsmanship afterwards. So, good to see MSK in action. I've definitely been digging this team since they debuted on NXT. Pete Dunne hosting an open challenge. Anybody that can come and beat me, take me down, come on in. He gets blasted from behind by Leon Ruff, who earlier was told by Mr. Regal that he's not to compete. He's not compete. He's not going to let him have a match or anything like that, despite Leon Ruff demanding action. But open challenge, and Leon Ruff answered it. And while he had a little bit of momentum in this match, the Digit Man worked on the limbs, snapped some fingers, and ultimately took a triangle submission with some elbows to take out Leon Ruff for the victory. And of course, one more finger snap at the end. But hey, he tried. Little man tried. We had the NXT Women's Championship on the line as Raquel Gonzalez made her first title defense against her Latina sister, Mercedes Martinez. This was a good match. This was a good match. It was back and forth. Both these Latinas going at it. It was even a point where Mercedes hit a Fisherman Buster on Raquel Gonzalez, which is one of her finishers, along with the air raid crash. But she kicked out. And ultimately, the second attempt of a Chikanga bomb on Mercedes was able to put her away. And there goes Raquel's first successful Women's Championship defense. But overall, good match. And there was even a segment backstage with Raquel approaching Mercedes. Had one word to say to her: respect. So it sounds like Raquel respected Mercedes, and it kind of pissed off Dakota because I guess she was thinking that Raquel was going to beat her up some more. So keep an eye out. This might signal a heel turn, or at least Dakota turning against Raquel. So keep an eye out on this. We may have something brewing here. I think it's only a matter of time before Dakota turns on Raquel. We'll see. Isaiah Swerve Scott came out and introduced his new stable, Hit Row, which is made up of him, Top Dollar, B Fab, and Ashanti the Adonis, which, you know, we've seen time after time on 205 Live. B Fab was the lady, and Top Dollar was the one that attacked Leon Ruff during their Falls Count Anywhere match. But yeah, that's your new stable, Hit Row, which I guess is supposed to be like a record label or whatnot. But yeah, so it's the four of them, Hit Row. Hey, it's pretty cool, I guess. I can dig it. Kyle O'Reilly had a match with Oney Lorcan, and this stemmed from there was a point where I guess Oney Lorcan kind of supposedly challenged Kyle O'Reilly outside the arena before the show. Of course, Kyle O'Reilly got the victory in this match. Pete Dunne attacked Kyle O'Reilly after the match, and guess who comes out for the save? That's right. His tag team partner, Red Dragon mate, Bobby Fish, makes his return and clean house. Now, I do understand that, you know, both have agreed they're doing their singles run. They're doing their own things. You know, Kyle O'Reilly specified that, despite saying, hey, it's good to see you, but I'm rolling solo. Bobby Fish was like, yeah, same here. I got my own battles to fight, but I will see you when I see you. So, you know what? I'm cool with mutual splits like that. You know, one doesn't turn on the other. I like that, especially with this team. And when you think about it, they did the same thing in ROH. Because remember, Bobby Fish went the singles path, won the ROH TV title. Kyle O'Reilly did the same, and he ended up winning the ROH World title. So this is nothing new. I'm okay with this. You know, mutual splits, I'm cool with. Just like with Kaz and Daniels. You know, they agreed next time they'd lose a match together, they would split. They respectfully split, but they're still cool. Same thing with the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane left to return Japan, but they stayed together. They stayed friends. They didn't turn on one another. So I like when things like that happen. So I was cool with this. But welcome back, Bobby Fish. And I hope he has a good singles run and can stay healthy. And then the main event was the Cruiserweight Championship. 2 out of 3 falls match. Kushida defending against Santos Escobar. I think it's pretty neat. The NXT Cruiserweight Championship defended in the main event. I don't think that's ever happened before to this day, if I remember. So this is cool. This is really cool. Of course, Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza tried to interfere. MSK comes out to kind of even things out, but both teams get sent to the back by the referee. This match was incredible. Back and forth. Santos Escobar got the first pin with the Phantom Driver, but quickly afterwards, Kushida was able to make him tap out with a cross arm breaker, and then it's tied 1-1. And then it just kept going back and forth, back and forth. It looked like Kushida was going to submit Santos Escobar again, but he eventually ended up transitioning into a hammerlock suplex in order to get the 1, 2, 3 and the second pinfall. So Kushida wins 2-1 and retains the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. So I think this is a great ending to that rivalry. And I hope Kushida continues to have a good title run. It'll be interesting to see who they may build up next to challenge Kushida. But definitely a great match. So glad that this was the main event. Kudos to NXT on that. Alrighty. NXT UK. So we had the Heritage Cup rules match. Noam Dar versus Nathan Frazier. Of course, Noam Dar had Shaw Samuels at his side. Match was all right. It was pretty good. Overall, I believe Noam Dar got the victory overall. Nathan Frazier got the first pin. Noam Dar gets the second victory. And then in round 4 or 5, I think round 5, Noam Dar was able to get the final victory. I believe made Nathan Frazier tap out to like a knee bar after missed. I think it was a missed moonsault. So or no, that was the I think that was the second pin. Yeah. But it was definitely back and forth, and something tells me I don't think it's over between these two competitors. I think this might turn into maybe a little mini rivalry, but I don't think it's over between Nathan Frazier and Noam Dar. But Noam Dar did get the victory for now. Mark Andrews with the newly formed stable Subculture. Him, Flash Morgan Webster, Danny Luna together. Mark Andrews had a singles match versus Levi Muir. I think I said that right. And got the victory via shooting star press. And yeah. So it was good to see Mark Andrews back on top again. It's been a while. And then you have the number 1 contender women's championship gauntlet, which had quite a interesting turn. So, Amale originally last week took out Zaya Brookside, attacking her backstage. Therefore, she wasn't able to participate in this match and ended up getting replaced. So, starting out, the match started off with Isla Dawn and Amelia McKenzie. It was back and forth, lasted a good while. Isla Dawn nailed a half and half on Amelia McKenzie and was able to pin her and eliminate her. Second one that came out, Danny Luna. And this one I really would have wished would have lasted a little bit longer, but Isla Dawn was able to eliminate Danny Luna, which I was like, okay, interesting. They're starting her off strong. The third woman that came out, or excuse me, the fourth that came out was Zaya Brookside's replacement that turned out to be the final boss, Meiko Satomura. So, of course, she came out and was able to eliminate Isla Dawn. I believe got a submission on her. And then the final woman that showed up was Jenny, of course, accompanied by Joseph Connors. But you got the fashionista. It's down to her and Meiko Satomura. And, you know, it was some good action there. Like I said, I like Jenny. I've always liked Jenny. And even a few attempts at distraction from Joseph Connors to distract Meiko, but it wasn't enough. It was not enough, as Meiko Satomura was able to take out Jenny with a Scorpio Rising and get the pinfall to become the new #1 contender to Kaylee Ray's NXT UK Women's Championship. Kaylee Ray came out, showed a bow of respect. Meiko was bowing right back at her, and she ate a super kick from Kaylee Ray for her troubles. Kaylee Ray was smack talking, just the ultimate sign of disrespect. My thing with this is, I kind of have an issue, mainly because I don't like the fact that Meiko's getting this opportunity again. Where is Eva Valkyrie in the mix with all this? That's what I have a problem with. Like, why can't she have gotten the opportunity and then Meiko? Because now Meiko has to win this time. If she gets this rematch and she loses again, she might as well be buried. But I'm just like, why can't Eva Valkyrie get a title shot? And now Meiko's about to get her second title shot. And it's no shade against Meiko Satomura, but Eva Valkyrie has a great record and has only lost once. When does she get her title shot? So that's my only complaint with that. But I assume that Meiko is going to dethrone Kaylee Ray and become the new NXT UK Women's Champion. Otherwise, it will be a waste. And then SmackDown. Like I said, I only checked out highlights. So I'll go through this briefly. Jimmy Uso is still not on board with acknowledging Roman Reigns as tribal chief, as head of the table. So Roman encouraged him to challenge Cesaro, which he did, and Cesaro accepted. Natalya and Tamina became the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions as they dethroned Nia and Shayna, which it's funny that they had this match on the Go Home show of SmackDown. Why couldn't they have this at WrestleMania Backlash? Because it's a big moment. This is Tamina's first title victory in her whole WWE career. So it really should have been on a bigger stage. But, definitely happy for Natalya and Tamina, especially Tamina. This is her first championship, way overdue. But I hope with this, Nia and Shayna go their separate ways. They need to go their separate ways. They're two-time tag team champions. They need to go their separate ways. But very happy for Natalya and Tamina. Apollo Crews was trying to have an award ceremony to give the Nigerian Medal of Honor to his commander Aziz. That later got interrupted by Big E, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens. They brawled in the ring all together, but ultimately Big E was the last one standing after all the chaos ensued. So we'll have to see how that goes going forward, because I'm sure there's going to be some sort of scramble for the next #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship held by Apollo Crews. Rey Mysterio had a singles match with Dolph Ziggler, beat Dolph Ziggler. So both Dominic and Rey Mysterio have beaten Dolph Ziggler. So they got some momentum going into their SmackDown Tag Team title match at WrestleMania Backlash. We had some words exchanged between Bianca Belair and Bayley, which Bayley was live on the Titantron via satellite. So they got their big title match coming up tonight at WrestleMania Backlash. King Corbin. I don't know why they're having Shinsuke Nakamura lose to King Corbin. It's so freaking ridiculous. But he beats Shinsuke. Shinsuke has the last laugh by attacking Baron Corbin and knocking him out and stealing his crown and putting it on his head. But just really, man, he has no business losing to King Corbin. I'm sorry, but I'm just keeping it real. And then Cesaro and Jimmy Uso had their match. Cesaro won by disqualification. Of course, Jey Uso and Roman Reigns came out. At the end of the day, Cesaro was able to take all three of them out and hit a pair of neutralizers. So he's got mad momentum going into WrestleMania Backlash. And then let's finish out by looking at this WrestleMania Backlash card. So we got Damian Priest versus The Miz in a lumberjack match. I have a feeling that maybe The Miz might pull this one off, only based off momentum. Only because, you know, Damian has kind of had The Miz's number lately. So I think maybe The Miz gets this one. I mean, like I said, after all, Bad Bunny and Damian Priest got a victory at WrestleMania. So maybe this is where The Miz evens it up. We got the SmackDown Tag Team title match. Mr. Ziggles and Robert Roode defending against the Mysterio family. I don't think the Mysterios will win, but they could. They could possibly win. I don't know if they're ready to change titles yet, but this could be an opportunity for the Mysterio family to finally get the tag titles. But I think it might be a little too early. But we'll see. I do think that could potentially be a title change, but we'll see. But I think the Dirty Dogs are going to retain. Universal Championship match. Roman Reigns defends against Cesaro. I expect there to be interference from the Usos, maybe one of the Usos, but I don't see Cesaro winning. If anything, Cesaro might win, but probably by disqualification. But, of course, you know, title can't change hands on disqualification. You got the Raw Women's Championship triple threat match. Rhea Ripley defending against Asuka and Charlotte Flair. I have a bad feeling this could be a title change. It would not surprise me one bit if Charlotte Flair won and dethroned Rhea Ripley. But Rhea Ripley could retain. I feel like regardless, Asuka's eating the pin. Because like I said, Rhea doesn't have to be pinned in order to lose. But I really feel like whoever between Rhea and Charlotte wins, Asuka gets pinned. So it's just dumb, but Asuka's going to take the pin. We got the SmackDown Women's Championship match as Bianca makes her first title defense against Bayley. Should be a good match, hopefully. It's been a while since we've seen Bayley in a pay-per-view match. Like I said, she wasn't and the WrestleMania match. So it'll be good to see these two go at it again. But Bianca, I'm sure, is going to retain. And then you have the WWE Championship in a triple threat match. Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre versus Braun Strowman. Something tells me that Bobby Lashley is going to take advantage of Drew and Braun beating the crap out of each other. He's going to take advantage and capitalize and retain the WWE Championship. I think Bobby Lashley needs to continue to have the title and have a good run. So I believe that he's going to retain. So the only title that I could see changing is the Raw Women's title and possibly the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Other than that, I think all the other titles will be retained. But anyway, that's all that I have. Like I said, I will be back on after WrestleMania Backlash to do my review of that. But and hopefully this week they'll post the Stardom tournament matches on Stardom World, so I can watch those and get everything covered with that. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, click that notification bell so you don't miss any video. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Pro Wrestling Talk. I will be back on tonight for the review of WrestleMania Backlash. This is Blitzball champ Jason Ingram signing off. Y'all have a blessed day. I'll see y'all soon. Laters.